Hello lads and ladies, and welcome to this, and welcome back for another video on the channel. Today we are back with more Sky Bet League One content on the channel. Now if you do enjoy these type of videos, let me know, and we will do more over the next few weeks as well. Now today we are having a look at every League One team and a little improvement they can make. Just quickly going through every team. Now when you get to the top teams like your Wednesdays, your Ipswiches, your Peterboroughs, your Plymouth Argyles, you are really nitpicking at little stuff and the odd result and the odd little, bad patch they had here and there. So don't be offended. Let me know improvements for your team that you think you need. Some teams need a lot, some teams don't really need any. So if you're new to the channel, hit a like button and hit subscribe down below. It would be massively appreciated. Let's get on with the video. Burton Albion, they just need a better back line. At the moment, I think they're very easy to open up against. They're very easy to cut open. You can create opportunities every game. And I know they've got a couple of good results lately. Away at Exeter 2-1 and they beat Cheltenham at home 1-0. And they've improved since Dino's come in. But they've got to be a lot better defensively. They've got the worst defence in League One with Forest Green Rovers conceding 35 goals. Forest Green Rovers, an improvement for them. Obviously, they need to keep more clean sheets. But their home record is diabolical. Only winning 2 out of 8. They've lost the other 6. Now, if you go and draw 2 of the games that you've lost, all of a sudden it looks totally different. 2-4. And that's not too bad, really, for a team that has just kind of come down. And if you need about 30 points to stay up at this league at home, really, and go and get 20 away from home, and you should be able to stay up on that. They're not doing that at this moment in time. They're not doing the basics well enough. Morecambe. Now, Morecambe are a little better defensively because how much they sacrifice in the terms of attacking play. The expected goals is the lowest in the league. They haven't got many goal scorers bar Kieran Phillips up front, or the odd goal from midfield from a Mayer or a Delaney might pop up with a goal here or there. So it's really poor, in my opinion, the way they play. They were awful against MK Dons in the cup, where they didn't. I think they had 1 shot on target all night. It's not good enough if you want to stay up at this level. MK Dons, for me, the record against the top 6 is not good enough, considering that's where they were last year. They played 5 of the top 6 and lost all 5 games. The record at home is diabolical. They're conceding goals and they're playing football, which realistically they shouldn't be playing with the players that they've got. I think they kind of need to switch up for this season and then go again, rebuild and get the players that they need for next year. But they're in a relegation battle at this moment in time. Accrington Stanley, they've just got to stop going on these streaks where I think they lost something like 3 games, won 3 games, lost 5, drew 1. And it's like, you can't go on these runs if you want to stay up at this league. Obviously, winning 3 in a row is really good. And sometimes, back-to-back wins can change everything. But you can't go and lose your next 5. The goals conceded is up by 25% in the last day compared to the first day. So they're conceding a lot more goals, which isn't Accrington Stanley. Conceding 3 at home to Bolton when you're 2-0 up, 3 away at Peterborough when you're 1-0 up, 3 away to Fleetwood at 0-0 in 15-minute period. I just don't think they can see outgamed at this moment in time. Cambridge. Now, considering they were in the playoffs for some time, the home form was really good, 4 out of 4. They've lost the last 4 home games, and the record against the top 8 this season, they've lost 7, drawn 1 against the top 10 this season. And it's like, if you want to kind of break into mid-table and better on last season, you've got to better on that form, and you can't always rely on beating the teams below you, really, to stay up. Oxford United, they haven't been winning a game at home yet this season at half-time. Only 1 point a game at home. Oxford United are normally 2 points a game at home for the last 2, 3, 4 years. They're relentless. They don't give in, They're absolute powerhouses and they're just not getting the creativity that they were once getting. Again, the record against the top teams isn't brilliant either. They've just got to improve at home because that is where they'll make up the ground against the better sides. Bristol Rovers. Now, the worry for them is they're yet to win a game against a team currently above them in the table. Now, if you look at kind of their form, it isn't good viewing. I think they've drawn 4 games above them. They've lost 5. Against teams below them, they've won 5, drawn 2. So it's good that they're beating teams below them, but against teams above you, you want to kind of get more points. I know they've got good points against Wednesday and Plymouth lately, which are good points, but realistically, if Bristol Rovers want to climb into the top 12, which is an ambitious aim for being back in League One, they've got to be much, much better. Fleetwood just need to turn draws into wins. They've got the most draws in the Football League with 9 draws. Just turn a couple of those into wins and you are laughing. A lot more is needed at Fleetwood to win games of football, but a good start so far. Shrewsbury, consistency is needed, which is kind of weird because inconsistency and consistency has been the reason why Shrewsbury are in League One. You always kind of want them to step up the gear a little bit to kind of climb into the top 12, but they never do. Only 3 wins in the last 8, but they've lost 4 of those as well. So you kind of turn a couple of those defeats into draws, and it's good form as well. So Shrewsbury Town are doing okay for Shrewsbury Town, but if they want to kind of progress, that form is needed to improve. Lincoln City, their home record. They've won 1, drawn 6, yet to lose. However, some of the teams he played at home, you look at your Forest Green Rovers, your Exeters, your Fleetwood, your Accringtons, who they've all drawn to. They've also drawn to Sheffield Wednesday. They beat Derby County at home. So for me, they've had a pretty decent start, but just turn some of those draws into wins and you're laughing. And they could be really in the top 8, top 9 area because they're a good side, Lincoln. They're very good in moments against good sides. Bristol Rovers, Sheffield Wednesday, Derby County and Bristol City, for example. Next up, Wycombe. They've lost 5 out of 10 games against 15th upwards. Only 2 wins. That's very unlike Wycombe. They're normally very consistent. Again, they've just won 3 games in a row just recently. But with the previous week, they lost 3 games. So they just can't put a run together like they did last year where they went 13, 14 games unbeaten to get into the playoffs. Exeter City. Now, they are, I think, quite decent defensively, but sometimes in games, they're very erratic. They conceded 4 in 3 of the last 5 games. So that obviously needs improvement. They obviously need to be a little bit more grounded in every single game. But they'll get there. It's a pretty good start for Exeter City. I don't want to be too harsh on them. Again, Port Vale, don't want to be too harsh, but conceding 66% of their goals in the first half, 16 goals conceded in the first half compared to 8 in the second half, shows they're a much better second half team, which is no problem with that. Games aren't won at half time. But if you can just show it up before half time, get in either drawing or winning instead of losing or drawing, and it's a big difference come the end of the season. Charlton Athletic, their record against the bottom kind of half of the table. They've only won 1, but they've only lost 1. Drawing 6 games isn't brilliant, let's be honest. But they just need to kind of take on the teams, break them down a little bit more. I just don't think they have the quality in midfield sometimes to break a team down against top teams like your Portsmouths, your Ipswiches. I think they're very good and they're very relentless to get something from games. Barnsley. Now, for me, the points per game isn't good enough. 1.5 points a game. It's about 68, 69 points come the end of the season. I kind of think they're very flat without Luke Thomas in midfield. They don't have any creativity. Devante Cole's kind of their only real goal threat. And, you can get the odd goal from your James Norwood types of players as well. They need to be a little bit better, in my opinion, going forwards. But at the minute, it's going to be an 8th, 9th place finish for Barnsley. Next up, Derby County. They haven't won 3 games in a row yet this season. They've won 2 a couple of times in a row. But if you want to go and win leagues or win automatic promotions, you've got to go and win 6, 7, 8 in a row and go 10, 11 games unbeaten at times as well and be really hard. But they just can't put a string of results together at this moment in time. And that's why they're not quite up there with the better teams. Bolton. Really like Bolton. The only thing I'll say about Bolton, the form of late hasn't been brilliant. They've lost 3 of the last 6 games. However, they've not been absolutely terrible. They did win the previous 4 games, by the way. So we are being a little bit harsh on Bolton. But I do think they will get into the playoffs at the end of the year. I genuinely believe at this moment in time that I think they've got enough quality, enough goals, a stern enough defence. Just got to kind of see out results on a regular basis. Portsmouth, their home form is horrific for what Fratton Park should be. Now, they haven't lost, but they draw too many games. And these draws are coming against kind of Lincoln, Fleetwood, Shrewsbury. They're not good points. And if you win all them, you're 6 points better off and kind of you're clinging on to top 2 again. And that's what the difference is between them, Plymouth and Ipswich at this moment in time. Peterborough, their away record, in good moments at home, they're really good. They've won 7 out of 9 at home. Away, they've lost 5 out of 8. And again, the record against the top 8, I think they've only won 1 game, and that was against Sheffield Wednesday at home. But other than that, the form away from home against better sides, it is quite poor. Lost away at Portsmouth, lost away at Plymouth. You know, they need to be tougher, and they need to kind of get their act together away from home. Wednesday's record against the bottom 8, bottom 10 last year at times was poor, but the record against the top 8 this year is very poor as well. They've only won 1 out of 6. They've lost 3. I know they drew against Ipswich 2-2 after coming back. Obviously, they lost away at Plymouth. We lost away at Peterborough, like we just mentioned before. But they just got to be better against the better sides. At Hillsborough, I think they can take anyone on. Away from home against a better side, then maybe not. But against the bottom half sides, Wednesday are doing really well. And they've won 5 away games this year and kept 5 clean sheets in every win away. Ipswich, this is where we're nitpicking. The last 8 games compared to the first 9, 41% increase of goals conceded. Now, obviously, they conceded 4 to Charlton, obviously conceding to Lincoln. Obviously, those types of games are going to have an impact on it. It is nitpicking at this time. I'm kind of used to Ipswich conceding half a goal a game. Their standards are not going to be kept over 46 games, believe me. But what they're doing at the minute, Ipswich they're setting so high standards that you kind of got to nitpick them when they concede 3 in a game or 4 in a game. And we're judging Ipswich Town on 1 game this season for their improvement. Obviously being 4-2 up with 2 minutes to go. It shows you a long, long way kind of they've come in the last few weeks. Plymouth, Argyle. Now, they've won 7 of the last 8. The top of the league on 41 points. They've only dropped 10 points all year. And their nitpick is conceding 5 away at the Valley and being 2-0 away at Bristol Rovers and drawing the game 2-2. They're the only thing that I can nitpick on them, that if they can just see out those games, it could be the difference at the end of the year. That is my video on every League One team's improvement. Do you agree? What would you improve about your side if you're a League One fan? If you are new to the channel, please subscribe down below. Turn notifications on if you haven't already. And if you could like this video, it'd be massively appreciated. Until next time, I'll see you later. Again, lots more League One content coming over the next few weeks. A big over and out from me.